Hey there, welcome back, welcome back. So today I want to talk about something that I see constantly within my friendship circle. So I can only really talk about my own little 1% of the world and my experience. I can't really talk about anything else, to be honest. And leaders, they seem exhausted. Their teams look busy, content is being posted, conversion, that's happening. But the revenue is a little bit unclear. And the problem is not about effort. Yeah, everybody's trying their best and doing the best with the tools that they have. Um, the problem, and even in my business that I've learned over the, well, I would say this week, is clarity. So leadership is not about volume, it's about making decisions. So today, I'm going to share 3 decisions that I myself make before pursuing any growth, right? And I don't do it out of any kind of emotion, panic, driven, or anything like that. I do it from a calm place. So the first one, and that's what I've done since the top of the year, is make sure there's one clear KPI. Yeah. So just make sure that there's one KPI, and that's the most important. And I'm starting to see now, because you've got to remember how I used to lead and how I'm leading now, or how I used to manage to how I'm leading now is very different. Right. And look, how I'm leading now, I'm starting to slowly see the rewards. I've seen people step up within the business, and I've seen where there may have been some holes now, which I can fix straight away. One, because we're not focusing on too many things, we're focusing on KPI decision. Hours before, I would say, and most of the conversations that I have, too many of us, right, are focusing on too many things, maybe engagement, impressions, tasks that have been completed, and meetings that have been booked. But none of these are revenue. Yeah, it's got nothing to do with how much revenue the company's bringing in. So the first quarter anyway, is always about stabilizing. Yeah, stabilizing where we're going, what we're doing, what's not working, what is working. I get that. But at a point where we're all in business is to make money. We want to reduce the tasks that are not revenue making tasks. So I've chosen one measurable outcome that drives our business forward. And for us, it's leads. Yeah. So what that has then taught my team is, what is the real revenue driver? Yeah. Is it a qualified lead? Is it a or is it a repeat customer? Is it a booked consultancy? So if my team can't answer that question in one sentence, then how money enters our business, there's clarity missing. So clarity reduces emotional labor. So without clarity, I myself, as the CEO, I become the system, and that shouldn't be. My decision too that I've made this year is about my offer. Right, I've really had to strip down the offer. Like, what if you look at our website, we offer so many different things, but this year we're going to focus on 2 main offers. Yeah, so that's what we are focusing on this year. Confusion in business often starts where the offer is vague. So if my team can't tell us the 2 things that we offer very clearly in one sentence, that means that my offer is too vague. If they're asking about how much money, how much does it cost, what this, that, and the other, the offer is too vague, right? Or they don't understand. So that's for me as a CEO now, to make sure there is clarity in what we're doing. So, as I've said, like, the confusion in the business, confusion in my business, it often starts where the offer's too vague. So, mostly I'm asking now, can my team explain my offer or our offer in plain English? Can the audience understand what we're doing in less than 10 seconds? Because really, people haven't got time to be sitting down wondering what it is. I haven't got time for that, right? Can they see what I'm offering in less than 10 seconds? Because the scroll is quick, the scroll is real. And can someone clearly say, yes, I need that, or no, I don't need that? And those are the 3 main things that I'm looking for now, moving forward. And we will do that boringly for the next, well, we've got 11 months now, right? 11 and a half months. So we will do that. We will continue to do that until it's very tight. So this year, I just want to protect my energy. Yeah. And simplify as much things as possible. And in leadership, that's really, really important because you have to wear so many hats, doing so many things. And, things may crop up where you've got another schedule to be done. That happens at life. Yep. And that's a path that we've chosen. So, very international sourcing. In international sourcing, confusion, especially when we're dealing with cross countries, cross cultures, all that kind of stuff, confusion, it can be very expensive. So, if my offer is unclear, then the client, that feels risky. And also, where there's any type of risk, that slows down the decision. So I just say that one more time. Yeah. In international sourcing, confusion is expensive. If your offer is unclear, your client will feel risks, and risks slow down the decision. So already people are already thinking, oh, what I've ordered, I've got to, am I going to get what I want? Or they've just spent 150,000 K on goods and what they've got is not what they've decided because nobody's clear. Yeah. So that needs to be clear from the get-go. And the last decision that I've actually made is about my energy, protecting my energy. Yeah, that is one decision that I've made. Leadership, I've learned, is not emotional reaction. It's emotional regulation. And that's been so hard, like when people have said, this is not a fit for me, or I don't want it. And, or I feel like I've explained it, but people aren't getting what I'm trying to say and all that kind of stuff. Now, instead of having a reaction that's emotional, I regulate those emotions and try to be very, very balanced. I learned that from my husband. My husband's a very balanced person. And a business should not require the CEO to be chasing, fixing, and emotionally stabilizing everything on a daily basis, right? It shouldn't, right? And if that is happening, then the structure needs work. Now, for a startup or for a small business, putting structures in place, that is not impossible. That is possible, right? And we can do that. And if we do that, then we don't need to chase. We don't need to, when somebody asks you a question, something that they should have already known, you don't need to get emotional about it. So structure, having a structure, that seems to create calm. And where there's calm, that creates consistency. And consistency, that creates profit. So, before I'm pursuing any type of growth, right? Before I'm thinking, oh, I've got to increase the amount of content that I'm doing, or before I'm going to hire my next salesperson, even before I expand, I'm making those 3 decisions. What truly drives revenue in my business? Yeah. What exactly am I selling? And what energy am I bringing to this system? If you're sourcing internationally and want to validate your suppliers before sending a payment, reach out to us. Yeah. Risk prevention is always the cheaper way. My grandma always used to say, prevention is better than cure. My grandma always used to say, prevention. That's it for today. Thank you for joining Sustainable Success. Tips on leadership. It seems to be the way that we're going in these uncertain times and how to navigate these uncertain times. As I said at the top of the year, we're in a season right now where it's unsure, where that old model seems to be crumbling and we seem to be going into a new direction of where things are going to be. AI seems to be like, for those of us that are young enough to remember no internet, to internet coming up in and growing with internet, AI seems to be the same. And maybe we'll see a shorter turnaround. I don't think it with how AI is going to be infiltrated is maybe not the word I'm looking for, but comes a part of our daily lives. So that's an interesting journey. So before the old model, go to school, go to college, go to university, get a job, buy a house, get married, have the children, have the car, and then live happily ever after. That doesn't seem to be the current model. We've got making money on YouTube, influencer this, singing, dancing, creativity, follow your dreams. Let's go around the world. So it's a new world that we're stepping into. I'm just sharing with you what's working for me as I'm navigating these changes. So thank you much for your time. I'm Dr. Lisa Gordon, and it's been a pleasure to talk to you today.